Hi guys, welcome back to the MV podcast, Weston's edition. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played Mrs. Weston.
And who are you?
Oh, my name's Izzy Sims. My name's Izzy Sims.
All right. I'm Evan, and I played Mr. Weston.
And I'm Logan, and I played Frank Churchill.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're going to get started with the synopsis of the musical we were in. So basically, we start off with Emma, which is the main character by Jane Austen. That's who wrote the book turned into a musical. And Emma is a manipulative person.
Yeah. I mean, you got it there.
Basically, yeah.
She finds a poor girl, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to make you famous or high class, and tries to set him up with the preacher. And then doesn't work out, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to keep manipulating people. And then she gets her booty handed to her. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, last episode I said you killed yourself, so yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. Anyone want to expand on the plot?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think Emma's kind of the villain and the hero of the story, if you think about it. Like, she's the protagonist and the antagonist, because I think all of the problems get started with her.
Yeah, and she has to clean it up. She messy.
Yeah, it's like she makes the problems, but then she also like causes them. So she's just kind of there. She's not like anything.
Yeah, and people said I was the issue. Frank was the
I
issue.
actually don't think Frank was ever the issue. I think Frank was just Frank.
It was
You're just
in
a rich kid.
I was in a
Like,
messy situation, guys.
you're a nepo baby
Yeah.
who like lived with his aunt because he's scared of me.
Basically, yeah. And okay, so for everyone who doesn't know, Evan was my dad in the show.
Is that what?
And
Identical.
for some reason, I read the book and I still don't understand why. I think it's just because his aunt was more rich. He lived with her instead and took her name. And then he fell in love with this girl, but she was also like kind of like poor. Right? Jane. And then, so her aunt, my aunt was like, don't marry her. And then she died and I could marry her. Yay! But
Woo!
I
Good team.
couldn't show it, so I had to pretend I was in love with Emma.
No
What a
way,
scandal.
bruh. Oh my god.
Okay, so what did the Westons do?
Izzy has like Izzy's character did stuff to the show. I'm kind of just arm candy. I kind of walked around. I'm there to introduce people and be like, hey, meet this person. But other than that, I talk for him while he's like gone out at his aunt's. So
Oh,
It's my
that's true.
voice. It's my defense. No, I promise he's coming. No, I can't.
He's gonna
No,
be
like,
here.
He's gonna be
This
here.
time, and then I was backstage for half of Act 1, like waiting for my entrance.
Well, Evan didn't do anything, but
Hey.
I was like Emma's governess, like
Yeah.
before the show started, and then after the show started, I married Evan and just became a person. Her life.
You were like the exposition of the
Exposition.
like.
Yeah.
She-
Our story was like the exposition of the.
Oh,
Thing.
you right.
Yeah, because Emma
I
was
forgot what
like,
exposition was.
Oh, girl. When she's an A flag.
When I'm in A plug and I don't know anything, thank you.
Yeah, because she's like opening the show and she's like, I made this match. Emma put those two together.
No, yeah, that's like her like second line in the show.
Yeah. So that's how you like understand who Emma is.
I think it's funny how that happens, but like, we never know anything about like the story of how we even like got connected. She's just like,
Yes, we
they're together.
do.
Am I?
What?
You were not. Oh, were you not in this? Okay, wait. I don't think you. It was in the monologue right before relations, or no, before I made the match myself. I don't know, but she was like, it was in I made the match myself. She sings like I invited him to dinner, managing the seating, because she basically thought like, oh, these two would work together. Put you next to me at the table, and then we fell in love.
I hate to say
That's
it, I
it.
never paid attention to that song.
Oh, I didn't, and then I just realized the entire song is about how we met.
Evan was in the back of the class the whole time on his computer.
No, he was.
No, I was working. Newspaper,
working, man.
MBTV, everything. All the classes were like, hey, we're going to
Shout
dump a
out.
bunch of work on you second semester, so it was not
Shout out
it.
journalism. 13.
Yeah.
Wait, what were we
Okay.
talking about?
We were talking about
Oh, Emma. Exposition. Yeah. But in the book, it expands on it more. But like in the musical, they're just like, okay, and now Harriet. which is the poor girl.
I feel like with the show, it was kind of weird because it was like we had like our obvious lead who was Emma, then we had like Knightley and like Harriet and them all, but everybody else was kind of just like there a lot of the time. And oh, there's a hole right there. And some people did have like everyone had like a plot, but like all of like the leads were just the people who like
Were
I don't know.
around Emma.
Yeah, I don't know, because there were like characters that were like seen as like not important to the show, but it was also like they were like super important like in their lives, but like not to the story.
Yeah, I think there's a number of characters in the show that you could have taken out and the plot would have been like almost identical. Like there's so many characters that we just like we met and like it's great that they exist, but like if they didn't exist, it would be the same story. Like
I
they
feel
would
like the
still fall in
Westons
love.
are kind of like that.
The Westons, I think Mr. Elton's wife, not Mr. Elton.
Miss
He
Elton.
kind of does stuff.
Mr. Elton, like he's like, yeah, he kind of does stuff,
If
but he also
he-
kind of doesn't.
If he never came back from Bath, we would have been fine.
Yeah.
From Bath,
That's why they go, he's in Bath.
Barth.
And we were like, okay,
He's
it's
in-
Barth.
It's bar.
He's in
Barth.
Barth.
Taking a bath.
Scrub it up,
He's in
dub.
Bath.
And he comes back with a wife.
No
Like
freaking
all
way.
of us.
We go off to a foreign country and we get a wife.
Right.
Well,
I
not
feel
all
like
of.
besides Jane taking Emma's attention away or taking you from Emma, I don't feel like Jane does a lot to the plot.
Jane is basically just there for Emma to be like, I hate her.
And then for her to take
Take.
take
Give.
you away from Emma and like fall in love with you instead.
She's supposed to be like Emma's character foil, like
Mhm.
her opposite.
Yeah.
But like I feel like in the musical, because I read the book, it's like the musical's just so Emma focused the whole time, because she like never leaves the stage, and like the book expands a lot more on everyone else. So I feel like the writer just must have really loved Emma.
But I think that's also how like a lot of musicals are that are like based off books is they kind of it's like movies too, because they have to remove a lot of the like fluff that's like other people's backstories and like other people's lives, because it's like such like a limited amount of time they have. They don't have like 600 pages to talk about like other people's stories. They only have like 3-ish hours to tell this story.
I mean, like I've seen so many musicals that are like that. Off the top of my head, I think of like the Great Gatsby musical that like it removes like all of Nick's plot and like
Yeah.
everything extra he does. Like
Yeah.
people are buying tickets to Emma to see Emma. They're not buying tickets to Emma to see everyone else's story.
I think like a lot of musicals nowadays take the most popular character like Gatsby instead of Nick, like, or like in Mean Girls it focuses on Regina a lot more than it is on Katie, I would feel.
I never realized that.
But it's just because they're more popular, so the musical like pushes that person more.
You're right.
Audiences want an obvious main character, and the problem is that like book-wise, it's a lot easier to have your obvious main character while also diving into your characters. But when you have a 2-hour musical, an hour of that is music. Like you don't have that much time to dive into every single character.
It's just funny. Like I would come for like the middle. I was only like in the middle chunk where I would sing like in every song, and then I
You
wasn't there for the first.
disappeared
Yeah,
for the
I was there
entirety.
for the beginning. I wasn't there, saying every song for a chunk, and then I wasn't there again until the finale.
They just like didn't want you in the beginning or end.
they were like,
They
you know
said,
what?
"Ew,
You are the middle.
Get out.
The middle speaks to me.
I thought it was funny how many scenes you were in that I wasn't. Like
No, it was so funny because they'd be like, Mrs. Weston, Mr. Weston, go away. And I was like, oh my god, hello.
And then you would come in for like 1 or 2 scenes, just like, hello, Frank's coming back. Wait, just kidding, you have to leave. Just kidding.
I always felt so awkward during that scene with Mrs. Elton, and like you're all at the party and I come in and I'm like, hey, he's coming back. I was like,
because you just
what do I
walk
do?
in
I
out
just
of nowhere.
I walk in and I'm like, hey guys, everyone, ignore your party, ignore this cool person.
Frank's coming.
Frank's coming back. My son is coming back.
Guys,
Like
I'm coming back. Dad said so. Did you feel awkward when you had to come in for the me and Emma scene, or Emma and I?
no, actually, I just forgot that scene existed for a long while.
During dress rehearsal, when you wouldn't.
No, he never
you wouldn't
walked
come on stage.
I was never there.
Emma was like, "Look, it's Mr. Weston."
Where'd he
Where?
go? Where?
I don't see
He's
him.
off in the distance over there.
He's on the bottom of the hill over
It's
there.
that speck of dust up in the room.
And then closing night, I came on like halfway through the scene. I was so
You were like-
ridiculously
You went-
early. I was like, oh.
I looked back and I was like, "That was not him." That was not-
You went-
I don't know you're here yet.
Yeah.
Did you just like stay on stage the entire time?
What do you mean?
Like when you walked on early, just go.
He just looked at
Yeah,
us.
I kind of just like I realized I was early about halfway to him, so I just really slowed down my stride as much as I could. It's the
He
same.
was like snail speech, like.
It's the same thing I would do when I would go up to during right before the recital when I would after you and Reese were talking, I would go up to you guys and be like, "Hey, you want to play some music?" I always went too early for that scene, and I just had to like
stood there
I
over my
str-
shoulder.
I had to
sometimes.
stroll.
I'd be like,
I was like, "What do I do?
no,
I can't go back now. I
There
can't talk to them because they're actually important."
There was like one time when you were just like over my shoulder, and I was like,
Get away.
like go get out. Like, oh my god, it was really funny though.
Yeah. So how do you guys think this show felt like in comparison to Holiday Inn and like all the other rep shows?
So different.
It felt so much like easier, I would say.
No, I agree. Cause like Holiday Inn was like, yes, the songs and like the harmonies weren't hard at all, but it's like Holiday Inn was just so like jam packed of like everything. So much dancing,
So many scene changes.
so many scene changes, so many lines, like so much just like it was like so fast paced and it was moving so much. And like yes, Emma was like kind of fast paced, but it still like it didn't feel like it was going really really fast. It felt like it was
Exactly.
like just going.
The whole show felt almost like a waltz. Like it's like fast, but it's not
Oh, how
too fast.
poetic! Oh my gosh!
Wow,
wow,
Evan.
wow, Evan Leroy. Very
Yeah.
poetic.
I think Holiday Inn also for Holiday Inn, like since we were all like main characters,
Yeah.
it was the show left no room for us to breathe, and when we were in it, because you were more in the first act and we were more in the second act. Like when we had our parts, there was no time to like
No,
change or
because
anything.
it was the
Act
like
two.
3 quick changes dead in a row for all of Lila's scenes. Like Lila had quick change, like back to back to back to back to back until she like disappeared. And then even when she came back at the end of the second act, she still had quick changes.
That's how Act 2
And
felt.
I was like, holy.
Yeah, there's no time. And then like Reese and Blake would be like, "You're late." I'm like, "I know."
I'm sorry, I'm half dressed. Do you want me on
Yeah.
stage?
I just took 3 shirts and a pair of pants
Right.
off. Like, do you want me to? I got 3 more to put on. Like,
Do you want me to come on like unbuttoned?
I remember
Like,
that time you walked on stage with your shirt unbuttoned, and then everyone was like, Logan, never do that again.
that was for like the fireworks scene. There-
because
Yes.
they didn't like improv, so I felt bad. So,
So
like,
you just like went, oops,
I ran on stage. I was
sorry."
like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh my god, no way.
And then whenever I would walk on stage, I wouldn't button it right, so I'd have to like undo it. and
No, I
redo it.
remember this, I remember this.
But Emma and I'm so glad we had minimal costume changes.
We only changed during our breaks, and like most of us had like 1 quick change, but the quick change got extended for
Yeah.
for most, but
for
not
most,
for all.
not for us.
Not for us,
Did
but
you-
like
Waltz.
for most.
Did you change dresses during Act 2 or just for the ball?
Just for the
The
ball.
ball was the only time I ever changed outfits in the
That's-
show.
Yeah, I knew the boys were like that. Did you keep
I-
that dress on for the rest of the?
I had an Act 1 dress, and then during intermission, I changed into my other one, and then I changed for the ball. Then I changed back into the same one I had for the like first 2 scenes of Act
Oh.
2. So I had like an Act 1 dress, an Act 2 dress, and then like a ball dress, and then it was like
I mean, it feels so nice to go from a show that had so many costumes and
To
Holiday Inn.
nothing.
Everyone had like 3-4 costumes. Like to this, where it's like, I almost felt like I wasn't doing a show, if that makes sense. Like after how much effort I had to put into Holiday Inn, like I didn't feel like I had to put that much into Emma.
Oh, that's like yeah. I was like thinking about this the other day, and I was like, with Holiday Inn, everyone was like under so much pressure, and I talked to I think Logan about this. It was like before Holiday Inn, people were like breathalyzing, taking their like honey drops and like doing all of this like vocal exercises,
Yeah.
stretching, like all of this. For Emma, people went on stage like nobody
Yeah.
breathalyzed, nobody took like a cough drop
No
or
one
like
even
something.
came with the medicine ball.
And it's like nobody got a medicine bomb. People got medicine bombs like every single night of like Footloose or Holiday Inn every single night, but nobody got a single one for Emma.
I do feel that
Oh.
Emma, like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I feel like I had more to do. Wait, Holiday Inn. I feel like I had more to do in Holiday Inn than I did like in Footloose when I was the lead, or like even though I was like a sub lead in Holiday Inn. And I feel like everyone felt like that. Even if you weren't Jim, you were still doing
Yeah.
so much. Like I had more to do than any other show.
But also, we still had 120 lines, and we weren't the lead. Like that shows you how
Yeah.
heavy that show is.
'Cause,
Like
it was like line and song heavy, which is like really rare in a show. I feel like because either show's either like very music heavy, like Emma was, or very line heavy. I can't think of one.
Well,
but like
Footloose was more
you could-
line heavy.
Oh yeah, Footloose was very line heavy, but Holiday Inn was both, and it was like it was insane.
Well, it's just because it went like so fast.
Yeah, because it was
everything.
so fast paced, everything like kept going.
Every song was fast, and every song was short too. Like when you look at Holiday Inn, like every song was like 2 minutes long. Like
Some like literally one of the songs was 30 seconds, a 30-second song where I had to like choreograph an entire dance to it. Oh my gosh.
I feel like. Oh, is that Song of Freedom? Freedom?
Yeah, Song of Freedom was like 30 seconds long. I was like, hello.
every time I do Song of Freedom, I think about the fear I was feeling for the rest of
Oh my gosh.
that set of songs.
We learned how to tap, and for first time tapping, or then Evan just got brought backstage, and Copeland was like, "Can you do a time step?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, so you're gonna do a 3-minute tap solo now."
Jim.
I
I'm
was
not
like,
Jim.
I'm sorry.
Ted.
What?
What? And then I was the only tapper, so I had to teach it.
Yeah, you're the only one who actually took a tap class in their life. Maybe
Yeah.
besides Evan.
I took
right?
one in 2020. February 2020 was my last tap class before the show. I did not
No.
know what I was doing. I was terrified.
Copeland has so much hope.
I love the guy.
No, but it was good.
It was good.
It was good. Everybody was like complimenting them. And me. I was like,
Because
And
you were
me.
like, okay, now shuffle butt change.
I was like, turn, toe, go.
They were complimenting us while you were standing in the wings, ominously, like wrong, 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 wrong.
Ominously, like, turn.
Turn. Other shoulder.
No, wrong way. That was just me in the corner.
Yeah, I feel like Emma, the songs, I hate to say this, I feel like the songs were really drawn out though. Like the 3-minute, 30-second songs were not
But that's why
needed.
Copeland was like faster, faster,
Yeah.
faster. And I now understand it because in the moment, all of us were like, no, it's fine speed. But now, like looking back, I was like, wait, I like fully get why he wanted to go faster because the show. Because like I watched one of the nights for like I watched Act 1, and I literally was like, wait, this is like slow.
I would zone out during the recital.
I
It
zoned
was
out.
So
I zoned
long.
out for like a majority of it. I was sitting there, I was like, I don't know what's happening
It's
anymore. I was
ballad
like,
after ballad.
No, I
after
know.
ballad. And even the recital was supposed to be interesting because it's like layering everything together, and it was so.
It
I
was
thought I was gonna fall
boring.
asleep.
Yeah. It's not like, it's just the songwriting. There's no diversity. And even when there was, like, we didn't have the capacity to, like, make it aggressive enough, I think.
No, yeah, it was like beautifully. It's like a beautifully written show, I will say. Like
Yeah.
whoever wrote it, A plus. But like, I just think even like the sped up songs still like lagged. Like
Yeah.
Relations lagged.
And some people
Um,
just never got the tempo.
Yeah.
And especially, like, for Relations and then for Finale, no matter how much Copeland would try to change it, it wouldn't
People
get
didn't
there.
get it.
Because, like, people wouldn't follow the people that were going faster.
Because the thing is,
anyway.
people were so used to what we did in rehearsals, which was slow.
I was waiting for Copeland to start conducting in the back. I was like,
No, I was like,
No.
because he was sitting there just like
he's gonna.
in the back, and I was like, hello.
I think he could have and probably should have because we could have all saw him, but maybe we'd all be like looking at a focal point and people would be like, "What's going on?"
I'd be like, whoop. Yeah. I had something to say and I can't remember what it was. Trying to think of like fun stories that happened. Like anything interesting really happened. Nothing really interesting happened
No,
during this show. No
everything
big mistakes.
It was,
happened
like,
during-
boring.
Everything happened during Holiday Inn, but I feel like we were like off of Footloose and Holiday Inn, so we were like, we can finally relax.
No, I think this semester was so different than last semester because last semester was like Footloose, like hard dancing, like all of that, and then straight into Holiday Inn, which because it's like we had to like redirect our focus so quickly to Holiday Inn from Footloose because let's be honest, all of us who were in Footloose fully ignored Holiday Inn. So it's like once we got there, we like really had to like go. So like all of us were like going like so quickly for like all that time. And then once we hit second semester, our town, like slower pace, very chill, like play, like
And that
all
came
that.
together so quick.
no, it came together
somehow.
so quickly. And then Emma too was like it came together very quickly, and it was like I don't know. Both the shows this semester were just like very like slow, and I think it just like all of us like got a chance to breathe.
Yeah, I feel like even last year with Little Women, it's like it was still so stressful because of like we just did blocking and we like neglected singing, so I think it helped to have probably like a minimal set, minimal costumes, and,
And,
just
like,
really hone in on.
Little Women was a lot of scene changes.
Oh my gosh.
Having to push that staircase on. Oh.
And there's a fireplace for what? We needed it
No,
for one scene.
there was a fireplace where she threw papers in it and then skipped away. We could have removed it after that scene.
Yeah.
No
and-
one would have cared.
Yeah, or there could have been like a little fire somewhere. Like I don't.
She starts it.
Throw it in the
house.
wings. Throw it in the
yeah.
wings.
Just tear it up.
Just be like, uh-oh. Like, no.
Yeah.
I think Copeland, it was really interesting that he did 2 fast-paced shows in the fall that are like huge casts, and then he went on to the 3 like slow shows. Like, I guess you can't take it with you wasn't slow, but it's not like it's a play, so it's
It's
like
a
the
play,
same
not a
kind of
musical.
energy that you give as like Emma did.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went to those rehearsals, it was it was not very on task. But I would say that did he not have the rights, or am I like dreaming
Of what?
for for Emma? So we couldn't.
No, he
do
didn't.
it in the
He
fall.
didn't have the rights for anything, like any of the second semester shows. He didn't have rights to it during first semester. He literally got the rights to it, like over winter break.
I'm surprised he got the rights for Emma because Casey Rep is doing Emma, but I found out it's a different version of Emma, and that's the only way Copeland got the rights because
Well, this is like
If-
a hidden one. This one's like a
Yeah,
secret little
isn't
Emma.
the famous one like a pop musical?
Yes.
no, don't. There's like
No,
there's like
we're
3 different
Evan,
versions.
not
Don't bring
Evan
up the
has
pop
trauma.
musical.
Evan has trauma.
I did the pop musical. I played who Aiden played, and we sang "Roar" by Katy Perry at one point.
It's a jukebox.
Girls Just Want to Have
Oh,
fun was in there.
It's a bad
full
jukebox. It's a bad jukebox.
I have videos I can show you later. It's so rough.
I really don't like. The only
Roar.
jukebox I like is Mamma Mia. I really don't like
That's
jukebox
real.
I'm not a
musicals.
big jukebox musical fan either.
No.
And then I know some people are like, I really don't like when they storytell during songs. I'm like, wait, but like that's my
That's-
that's like the point.
That's the point of
That's
music.
musical theater.
Yeah,
hello?
If you can't act it, you sing it. If you can't sing it, you dance it. That's like
Was Footloose a jukebox?
No.
It was like from the
Well,
movie.
yeah, it's
Yeah, it's. I don't count it as a jukebox if it was like derived from a movie and they like took the songs from it. That's kind
Yeah.
of like what Back to the Future is, because they took some of the music from the movie
But not all of it.
and like put it into it.
yeah.
But it's like I don't count that. Like I don't count that as a jukebox. It's just taking like the charm and the songs from the original and adding it into the remake.
yeah, and they like embellished it. Like Let's Hear It for the Boy was crazy on
Like
stage.
it's completely different.
yeah.
And they also added gems like Mama Says. But yeah, I liked the storytelling through Emma, and I know it could get slow, but like
But it was
It was
beautiful.
gorgeous.
It was beautiful.
I just felt bad for Reese and Josie for having to like sing 100 different lyrics. 20, but they had like what 20 songs.
The reprises. The hello.
Can I help you?
No, I just you were just like looking at it from the distance.
Oh.
I'm like, hello.
I just zoned out for
I
a
thought
second.
Evan
That's
was
my
like-
bad.
He said,
How do I get out
Sean.
of here?
Sean, come back.
Sean.
Where's my white knight Hercules?
To fight the rising. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, we see why he wasn't in Footloose.
Hey,
He's such a pop
That's
music
not
man.
very nice.
Pop music.
Music.
Okay.
No, I after I did Footloose, I had such a bad like pop voice, like accent that Coach Ree was like,
Logan.
she's like, you're not Ren anymore. You're
I was like,
Logan in
sorry.
choir. You have
You're
to
in
stop.
choir.
Stop riffing.
That's such a hard thing to do as like a musical theater person is changing your voice for so many different like
And then British accents. again.
British while singing. That was that was
Oh my
crazy.
coming off of like I did a British show and then I immediately went into checking this show. 3 different accents I learned since January. Like it was so hard to keep track of which accent was what.
I did German for
Professor Bear.
in British this year, so it was a lot easier. And I feel like since I'm in choir, like we have to like accentuate our vowels anyway and be more British, so it like wasn't as hard. And I bet it was the same for Reese and Blake, but like at the same time, it's still musical theater, and we're so used to ahs and oohs instead of ah and oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
it feels like home.
Relations.
Relation.
And some people like, and yeah,
That wasn't funny.
and some people. Oh, wait, what happened? I missed the
We
joke.
can't fight on the podcast, Izzy.
He said relations.
Uh-huh. But some people never got the accent while singing, so it clashed.
No, because you hear like relations and you hear relations. I'm like, oh my gosh. I
Relations.
swear.
There was, because there's the two fast like relations, complications. There was someone who would always sing it wrong every time. Because there was the
Wasn't
two
you?
different versions.
Complications,
During tech it was, but not after
Oh,
like
it was
actual
tech.
shows.
variations.
But during
of
actual
gradations.
shows,
Variations. of
during
relations.
actual shows, the second one, I would always hear someone sing the first line. I was like,
It's like,
that's,
did you
that's
know you
not
just
it.
sung that?
Are you aware?
Girl, you already sang that. What you doing?
Are you paying attention? But sometimes I was so locked out. I was trying so hard.
No, we were also all like really tired for some reason.
There's a couple of those scenes in that show that was so easy to just like zone out, and no one would be the
No,
wiser.
it was the recital because both of us just after we went.
The recital and the picnic were it for me. Those were the two scenes that I like paid no attention.
The picnic,
I was trying.
the umbrella always got caught in my hair, so I like couldn't like not pay attention because the umbrella would like smack me in the head. I'm like, oh, good morning.
I was so. Oh.
I said, oh, hello.
And oh my gosh, my tail on my tailcoat.
He said,
I
boom.
had two little fluffs, and I would, if I sat on it, I might like rip it, cause I did, and it kept ripping more and more. So every time during the show, I had to like fluff it up, and the tailcoat would go, "Phoom." And everyone would be like, "That bothered me." I'm sorry. What was I supposed to do?
That bothered me.
Actually, that was just Reese Miller. If you're
Oh.
watching.
Shout out. More like call out, not even shout out.
Yeah.
Call out.
Just kidding.
It's going with some beef after.
And then she was like, during the show, it didn't bother me. I'm like, so wait, what? I'm
Like-
confused.
yeah.
But wait, I feel like we lost track.
Yeah, we did. I don't even know.
I have
what
no
we're
idea what
talking
we were talking about anymore.
about.
It
I don't
was, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. Looking back at Emma and this just whole year of Mid Valley Theater, I think it's probably since I got here one of the better years.
This is probably one of the best years,
I would say,
like ever.
yeah. I don't think, even though we felt unprepared for Holiday, and I still think
It was good.
it was a lot better prepared than like other years. Like I've heard horror stories about like zombie
Prom.
prom.
Oh no, because Copeland was like, yes, we're a little unprepared for this show, but nothing will ever compare to Zombie Prom. And I was like, oh goodness.
Yeah.
Oh goodness! Like what were they? What was that
What was
cast doing?
happening?
What
I
did
had
you
heard
do?
horror stories of like the groups before us. Specific Kid a lot would not be memorized until show week, like every time, and we'll talk
There are
after.
multiple
We'll
angles.
talk after.
They're gonna.
So
What
he's
is he
gonna
doing?
change
There's gonna be like a secret camera over here showing
Like,
her what she just
Wait,
said.
did you not see the camera right here?
No, Evan's the camera. He's
No, the time Copeland was mad at me, he compared me to him, and I was like, I have nothing. And then my mom.
Wait, when
okay,
you got a
sorry.
haircut?
Yeah, sorry to air out my business, Copeland.
He got
but
a haircut.
I got a
during Tech
haircut,
Week.
and I missed 45 minutes of rehearsal, and then I got like a stern talking to by all three of the director, teacher people, and he was like, "You are just like them," or not like just like them, but he was like, "You know those people in the past," and I was like, "But I'm not anything like them. I've
Yeah.
been here every other time." And then my mom and Copeland talked, and she was like, "My boy does not do all those illegal things that they do." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, everyone stop. Is it time?"
No, I think it was such a great year of the Valley Theater, and
Yeah.
I can't wait for next year.
I can't.
Oh, I'm very, very excited for next year. I'm really hoping it's good shows. Copeland, I love you. Please give us
Yeah,
good shows.
Copeland, I love you
Please,
too.
please.
I'll miss you.
Please.
Thank you for theater.
Please.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
Izzy has to go though.
Yes. It's been the
Oh, my
Weston's
alarm's going off.
podcast. All right.